Alrighty, folks. We have with us today Ian James Corlett. Voice of Cheetor and Beast Wars. And Garry Chalk, the Optimus Primal. So I'd like to open this up with sort of a pretty general question of how did you guys get into voicing for Transformers in general? Like what was the process of your first role?
Oh, thanks, Gary. Well, like most projects, it begins with an audition. So you get a call from whoever is organizing the thing, and they say, here's a bunch of characters for this new show, and you go to the audition on your knees, begging to get cast in the role. And, I think the same thing for Garry is for me. For Beast Wars, for example, you've got a selection of characters that you're able to audition for. You probably audition for the same roles or different roles, multiple roles. So, I would have auditioned for Rat Trap and some of the other ones. I'm the only one that matters is the one I thought. So that's how it works.
Yeah. What he said. No, I concur with this, but we would never go begging on hands and knees. Oh no, some might, but I remember going for that audition and narrowing it to the fifth one. I didn't think anything of it. I just, because we were doing cartoons, I've done a lot of cartoons, and I thought, oh great, another cartoon, cool. So we go in, read for it, and then they narrow it down and narrow it down. And it came between myself and David Kay for Optimus. And I was going to be sort of made it, I was going to be Megatron and he was going to be Optimus. And then when we were in there doing the finals, he goes, you know what? You should be Optimus and David should be Megatron. Because he has that beautiful, yeah. I love the way he says Psyduck. It's just like, it's so cool to listen to that voice. And I can't picture anybody else doing that voice. And so I think it was a wise decision on the part of the directors and the producers of the show. And of course, my brilliance in the show was also key. Anyway, but that's as far as auditioning in general, not just for Transformers, but for other cartoons. I mean, Ian and I have worked on a lot of cartoons together, and basically what it boils down to is, can you act? Can you read? Can you sing? All these things come into play, and if you can do all those three and bring it off the page, then chances are you'll have a good chance of having a career as a voice actor. So there you go.
All right, thank you. And if any of you all have some questions, come on, approach the mic. It will not bite.
Oh, Dr. Robotnik's here, everybody.
Don't worry, I'm not General Zod. I have a question for Ian. How was it? You did the voice of Andy Larkin in What's with Andy.
Yes, I did.
I saw the finish season 1. How was it like working with the voice actors in Los Angeles and also the voice actors in the Quebec? I know Laurie Maxine had to be changed 3 times because of Jacqueline Lanetsky's death. And she was a great voice actress, and also my childhood as well. How was it like working in both LA and Montreal? Did you have to, and for season 2 and 3, did you have to do a voice patch? Like how Jennifer Hale and Andrea Parker did for Totally 5, where they had to do a voice patch through LA, or did you do the recording in person?
Those are great questions. This is about What's with Andy. Andy Larkin, world's greatest prince. That was a really fun show, great story, because there is kind of a connection to Mainframe, who made Beast Wars. So one of the producers that was working on a show, it was a mainframe show, I don't know if you were in it. What was it? Racers.
Accelerators?
Weirdos. Thank you. Weirdos. Yeah, so anyway, I had worked with this producer, and he's from LA, and he had this new project coming up, and it's this weird kind of hybrid US-Canada co-production. But they wanted most of the work, the writing and voices to be done in LA, but the Canadian arm of it was going to be all the animation stuff. Anyway, so they needed to cast the lead character, which was Andy, out of Canada, because there's this point system doing co-production. So I was the lucky recipient. And they would fly me down to LA every couple of years, which was sort of the beginning of my American trajectory. And I would go down there and record with Tom Kenny and Bradley Baker and all the big shots down there, Frank Welker. And then I think we did like 2 seasons, maybe a season. And they switched it to, oh no, we're doing the whole thing in Canada. So at that point, I had been flying to LA to do the thing. When I came to Canada, things became a little more economical. I was going to say cheap, but anyway. So there was no flying me anywhere, so I would record my lines in Vancouver, and the rest of the cast was recast and voice matched in Montreal to match the U.S. characters. That's the answer.
And also, do you think that Andy Barton would fly the Flying Nimbus and the Decepticon work with Darth Vader and the Sheep Palpatine?
You know, those things make my head explode. So if you need an answer, I don't think so. How's that?
Yeah, because they don't have a pure heart like Goku.
That's right.
I'll see you at 2 p.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Ian, since the last time you were here back in 2016, you had announced that you would book the gig in Robots in the Sky 2015, which was airing at the time, and a year later, when season 3 aired, we got to the episode which introduced you as Shadow Raker, who was Drift's evil mentor. So I guess my question is, what was it like auditioning for Shadow Raker in RID? Was it one of those, they were holding a big, thing and they were just looking for somebody, or did they give you a part? Did you audition for RID prior, and do you have any good stories about recording on that one episode with the rest of that cast, with like Will Friedle and Karen Hayden and all that?
It's a good question. No, they weren't having this big anything. No, you hardly ever get asked to do a role. Boy, that would be nice. Yeah, we're putting this show. We'd like you in it. Oh, sure. Okay. You have to audition for everyone. So I got it. And then I think people in the higher up of the production kind of connected the dots. I'm like, oh, that guy. Because I was just another voice actor in LA auditioning. So the only story I have of recording that was the session. Very often, you're not really working as a big group. It's done in piecework, especially in LA. People are really busy, and you can get this person on that day and this person on that day. So now this is going to be a little self-serving, so forgive me. But Eric Bauza, who I'm sure you guys are all fans.
Red, Funny.
Yeah, you know who Eric Bauza is, right? It's the Wunderkind from Toronto, who is now the voice of every Looney Tune that you can imagine. Anyway, so I show up, and the nicest thing was when he knows who I am. And I walked in, and he did the not Bob, God, geez, I can't remember anything today. Who are the characters from Wayne's World? He did the Wayne's World, where he just went like this.
We're not worthy.
We're not worthy. And I went, oh man, well thanks for noticing. You're worthy. So that's my only anecdote.
Well, that's so ironic given Drift and Shadow Rakers' past.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please do a question for Garry.
No, just keep it on the end.
I think it goes without saying, you guys are in part responsible for reviving this franchise that we all love so much. I was in high school, driving home as fast as I could in the afternoon to watch Beast Wars.
Oh, nice.
It was a great time. You're also responsible for what, in my mind, is one of the absolute best story arcs between two characters, Primal and Cheetor in DC Gems. The places that your characters begin and where they end up, it is a journey that's filled with so much emotion, and it's just a joy to watch and heartbreaking to watch at the same time. I was just wondering if the two of you could talk about those characters and the journeys that they go on, the interplay that you all even had with Cheetor starting out as this young, rambunctious kid, and Primal being just rock solid, and then learning that he fails and going on that journey to realizing that his quest for suppressing the technological is no different than Megatron's own quest to suppress the organic and finding balance, and then Cheetor becoming the Matrix Templar at the end. If you all can just share your thoughts about that experience with those two characters in that show, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. Well, I think you've answered most of the questions, but the thing is during the first season when we first got together, and we're sort of flexing our muscle, as it were, as not as people, but as the characters. Who knows what the story arc is going to be and how it's going to end up? And I think what had happened is that the story had evolved like relationships evolve. And Cheetor was this impetuous, rash, let's get him, we'll do it. No, what are we going to do now? Huh? It's like Spike and Tight, kind of. And I was kind of this, well, my character was kind of the long-suffering, tolerant dad. Okay. Shut up, Ratman. that feeling, right? But as time went on, we start to realize that these characters are warm, full, and have emotions and feelings and issues and dreams of the future and whatnot, and doubts about what the world is going to hold for them in the future. And I think that's where our relationship really evolved, because I started to see Cheetor as a troubled individual who was looking for answers, and it was hard to give him the answers. There you go.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Ben, and I'm very happy to meet you both. Throughout Beast Wars and Beast Machines and probably so forth, we've seen so many designs of Optimus and Cheetor. I was just wondering, which one do you think is the best?
Which one do we think is what?
The best.
The best?
Yeah, for both of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cheetor.
No, I think the designs, the many designs for each of your characters, like Optimus Primal has different forms in Beast Wars, and so Cheetor.
Well, when Beast Machines came out, and I know this is a topic of much discussion. Beast Machines. I know, when they came to the studio, it's really cool because often productions are not all based in one city, and this all happened in the animation studio is a mile that way, and the recording studio is that way. So we would get regular updates from the production side, and they showed up one day, and they said, okay, here's what the new season is going to look like. And they gave us, it's a very unusual studio. Initially designed for large format film recording. So there was a giant screen in there, way before giant screens were commonplace in people's houses. And so you're in this movie theater and sort of rolling this half-done animation. And my reaction when I first saw the Beast Machine stuff very, like this melding of a graphic novel and CGI. So I like that. That's sort of
Yeah, the place where we recorded was a place called Pinewood Studios. And Pinewood was a post-production facility for film and television. So they had what they call a Foley stage, which is what we worked on. We had a Foley stage where are people familiar with what that is? Sound effects when they make,
yeah, footsteps.
Footsteps on
There would be boxes of like there'd be
gravel and dirt.
concrete, dirt, sort of grass. Like I used to go play in them.
But so this was a Foley stage and also post-production, so we do ADR in there, and I used to work in there a lot in the film side. And then we came in and it was also a commercial studio house, and then it became an animation house. And it was quite neat to see all these things on a giant screen, because you could really see what this is going to make an impact somewhere. Someone's going to look at this and go, holy cow, we are on something really, really cool. And I didn't realize how cool. I just thought it was another cartoon, right? Until I saw the pictures. But what really hit home for me on Beast Wars is why it was so important, is because the cast went down to, I think it was Van Nuys, in California, or Orange County, by Disneyland.
You did?
Yeah, it was a convention. It was a convention.
Okay.
I'd never been to a convention.
That was a field trip that I missed.
Huh? No, but I'd never been, and then they had the cast. There was myself and Venus and Doug and Scotty and you, I think were there.
I didn't go. I didn't go to that
Oh,
one.
you didn't go that one? David Kay, I know David wasn't there. But there was like several of us in the cast. And so, I don't know if you ever saw Galaxy Quest. Remember when he walks into the auditorium with the guy, and the girls see him and they go, like that. Well, the organizer said, oh, hey, this is Optimus Primal. And the girls went, like that. Well, that's hilarious. And then we saw there's like about 1,500 people in this room. There's a huge place. And they brought us up on stage, and the place went absolutely insane. And I thought, uh-oh, now we have to live up to something. and so that was quite something. And what really hit it home is that one of the guys, they do fan fiction, and we do a script, and everybody is there to read the script. And this guy got his script picked, and it was the first script picked. Try to say that 3 times. And he burst into tears. And I went, what? He says, I can't believe I didn't do my script. And we did the script. And so this was, to my mind, the real launch of Beast Wars and the launch of the Transformers franchise. Because it was sort of laying dormant there for quite a while, and then all of a sudden now it's got all this interest again.
Well, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Good question.
Oh.
Can you voice act your Hailstones? Can you guys voice act your Hailstones?
Oh, well, I'm doing it right now.
No way!
But Cheetor kind of sounds a lot like me.
Well, he sounds a little whiny, you know. He's got that. Come on, big butt!
Not big boy, come on.
Okay, Cheetor. We'll do it right. We'll do it your way.
Spot on smooth.
Boy, oh boy.
Yes, I have a question for you, brain-dead, boondoggle, buckets of both, grunder and coconut. It's been 30 years. Where is the head of Sonic the Hedgehog? But seriously though, yeah, you guys have been at the start of many a franchise.
Yes.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog, you guys are doing voice stuff, and Beast Wars, the launch of that whole franchise.
Ian, I know you did stuff with like Mega Man as well back in its early heyday.
Mega Man.
What's it been like getting to be a spectator on these things that you helped build and just watching them over the years and seeing the fandom grow, that sort of stuff?
It's amazing. I mean, look at this. Well, you guys are the fans of stuff that we've done decades ago, and it just doesn't go away. I don't want it to go away. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I don't think anyone, Garry can agree or disagree, but when we're recording these things, we don't think about this at all. Or we certainly didn't then. I think now, anime especially, there's a big fan base for that sort of thing, and I think a lot of people do think, ooh, if I make really popular anime, I can go to conventions and stuff. But back then, I mean, the very, very first, sort of similar to Gary's story, the first fan convention I ever did was in 2000 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, for TFcon. And it was like this, and actually, when I auditioned for the Beast Wars show, I knew it was Transformers, and I thought, well, that's actually a real franchise. So if I did that could be kind of cool. So it is amazing, and I'm very grateful for all of your interest in all of this old stuff.
We're grateful you still come to these shows and grateful for your presence.
And thanks for remembering Coconuts.
Coconuts was great. Coconuts was awesome. I loved Coconuts.
Okay, now you guys know. Has he showed up in any of the current stuff? Or
No. The last time they had a monkey badneck, I think, was Sonic Adventure in the game, but it's been a while.
Start a movement, would you?
He showed up in
Just before Coconut.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Robotnik. You look absolutely marvelous.
Yes.
If I do say it myself.
Why, thank you, General from the council that decided to bring me in to destroy the hedgehog. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I hope I don't slur my words. I've been excited about this moment. I actually have my VHS tape from when I was a child, from when I first started watching you guys. So I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Just wanted to say, first off, thank you both for being in so many different pieces of media, both movies and television, games. You've always been there for all of us, and thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Our pleasure, entirely. I got to tell you.
Over the course of your career, has there ever been a character that you wanted to voice if you didn't get a chance to? And if so, which character and how would you have portrayed them?
That's a toughie. I've always wanted to, actually, to tell you the truth, I've always wanted to voice Megatron. Because that's the one I auditioned for. But I just didn't have the I don't know, I love that character. But you see, I love playing bad guys. Because good guys are kind of boring, they get oh no, don't you do that. No, we're doing the right thing. Let's destroy them all. See, that's way more fun, don't you think? Yeah. Okay. But that's the one that I would like to have done in Megatron. I'm trying to think. I've done quite a few characters that I was quite happy with it. So.
Yeah, my answer is kind of similar. When you audition for so many things, you really get used to just like flushing. Gone. Didn't get it. And it's kind of like it has to become part of your makeup. So the idea of, oh, I wish I could have, or I'd like to do that, we're too busy doing our own great shit. No. But there are sort of more general projects that I would love to have been a part of. When I introduced myself to adults, not a bunch of guys like us, nerds. But like when I'm talking to an actual grown-up, he goes, what do you do? And I'm voice actor. Oh, you've been on the Simpsons? No. So,
I can do voices.
so I'd like to, be able to say that. I can't say I was on Family Guy. So I like when they still get that.
You know the Simpsons?
No, it isn't Family Guy. Oh, so. But, or I'd love to be in a, big Disney piece. But all those are, stars. We're journeymen, right?
We're
Pipe
what you
fitters.
call blue collar actors.
We're blue collar.
It's not really, that's an actual term. We're blue collar. We're working.
Yeah.
I've been working for 46 years, so you never know it, but truly made a career of 46 years. So.
Amazing, because you started when you were 3.
I did.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, look at you. Look at your.
Shiny
Yeah.
side.
Your leopard
Yeah, just a
spots.
little bit for
Your
you guys.
cheetah spots.
Yeah, just a little bit, First of all, thank you all so much for coming back here. It's awesome to see you all again. It's crazy actually to think that almost 30 years now this series has been viewed. And yeah, it seems like everybody here coming over to see you, it really means a lot that you are all back. Yeah, I'm almost coming on 30 years too. 2 questions. First one should be quick. I'm curious as to if you guys were to switch roles with any of the cast members in these wars, who would it be? Hard mode for you, Gary. Can't choose Megatron.
Gary's he's already answered it. I think I would have liked to do Rat Trap. I'm sure I auditioned for it. But, that was the year of Scott McNeil.
Really good era, I would say.
18 voices. Okay, Scott, go ahead.
Can I do that voice? No, that was, Scott again. Scott gets it again. We tried. I mean, hey, I did my, alternate guy. Didn't work. Scotty does it, it works, I don't know why.
The moment he walks in, it's just like, yep.
Yeah, sorry. No, we're done.
The second question is that, the voice acting industry has changed so much, and nowadays we have a whole new generation of these brand new voice actors coming to the scene. If any of these new candidates were here right now, what would you say to them?
Learn how to act. And I don't mean that necessarily they don't know how to act, but for people, this is more for people who are aspiring to be a voice actor. And I like to reverse that term. We say voice actor, and I don't think it's acting with your voice. The acting is the most important part. A lot of people think, hey, I can do this voice, and I can do that voice, and I'm really funny. And they probably are. But it's the acting that's the underpinning to all of it. So that's the most important.
The thing is that I can do voices, I can do funny voices, but can you do King Lear and make it believable? That's the whole thing. Because when you think about it, your characters are fantastical characters, living in a fantastical world. But to those characters, that's the real world. And their characters are real. And the reason why people get enamored of them is because they resonate with the feelings, because the feelings are real. The stuff that they say. Like, one of my all-time favorite characters is the little three-coat sloth in Ice Age. I thought, he's so stupid, and he's so silly, but he's just so endearing, because it comes from a real place. And my advice to anybody who's aspiring to be a voice person is to A, learn how to act, B, learn how to read, and C, learn how to sing. Because if you can sing, you're training your voice to get your upper range, your lower range, you're making sure that your breathing is proper, your voice is proper. If you can read, it's being able to look at the words on the page and to be able to bring them to life immediately. And you may think, well, that's pretty easy. No, it ain't. Because I'll tell you right now, I can take anyone in this room and have them just say something naturally and then put a script in front of them and watch what happens. Oh, where do you think we're gonna go today? It looks like it's gonna be fun, but I don't know. But I'm not kidding, and it's not a criticism, it's just, that's how it is, because when you're looking at somebody else's words, they're not your words. So how do you make them your words?
I used all that classical training and background to come up with like I did Baby Taz in Baby Looney Tunes. Very serious.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
I really hope that if we ever have a 30th anniversary for Beast-Wars, I hope we have a reunion and get to see all of you soon.
I hope so.
I've been trying to campaign it for
Okay.
many years.
Good. That's a deal. We'll be there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So, obviously, I know last year Transformers Rise of the Beast came out, and that movie featured Maximal, and not the Maximals. But unfortunately, you two were not in that movie, so I just want to ask. Have you seen it, and do you think they did the Maximals right?
Have you seen the movie?
Yes, I have, and let me tell you something. Oh, it's not what you think. No. No, I love Ron Perlman. I think Ron Perlman is a great actor, and he has a great voice. And he's also a very nice guy. I play golf with him. He's a great guy. I really like him. You know, he comes across a little hard-faced, little tough guy, but he's actually a pretty nice guy. Anyway, I think we were saved a little bit because, to my mind, and I may be wrong, but the Maximals got short shrift in that movie. They didn't get it. They never got it short. Really got short.
I agree. I forced myself to go see it. And the only reason I knew about it was the voice actor who got the role of Cheetor reached out to me through Instagram. He said, "Hey, I'm in this new movie, Cheetor, and it's so great because I like what you did." Well, that's fantastic. What a nice kid. So I went to see it, and there's no Cheetor. Essentially, and it was crazy. And I kept thinking, okay, why did they make a movie based on Beast Wars that really had little to do with the Beasts? Like, there was nothing about Beast Wars or the Beast. It was just like, hey, let's put some robots in animal suits. And then the humans. Don't forget about the humans. And to me, that's not really what Beast Wars was all about. So that's why.
Thank you.
So we dodged a bullet, just saying.
Alright, thank you guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So I've heard some stories about the production of Beast machines, and I've heard that some of you guys that worked on that weren't too happy about the way that they took the characters. I just wanted your opinion on that.
Not me.
Okay.
I read what I'm given, and I have very little. How do I say this? I don't really get invested.
Emotional investment.
Yeah, because it's like you set yourself up for disappointment. I mean, we're sort of like the most important and the least important at the same time in terms of a big production, because we're providing the voices, we're doing that part of the job, but it's not like, actually I get really tired when I stopped watching talk shows with actors on them a long time ago because, well, I thought the character would do this, and I thought the character would do that. You're a vessel. Do your job. Bring that character to life as best you can. And quibbling about the script and the story, there's minor things. My character might not, might contract a word instead of not contracting. Basic stuff like that. Other than that, point me in the right direction and I'll take it as an actor.
Well, mine was somewhat different. I was very happy with Transformers Beast all the way through. There were I was concerned in that particular season you're talking about that the character, the Optimus, was going away from from his character becoming more internal navel gazing kind of a character. It didn't seem like it had legs, you know, to carry on. Where do you go from here? You know, and,
Cancellation.
huh? Well, that's what I said. Where do you go from here? And then all of a sudden it turned around and became back to the old guy again, which is great. But that was one of my major concerns is where is this going to go from here?
Well, in that case, do you guys have any funny stories during the production of these machines?
Well, there's the Florian. No, that was another show. Right?
No, that was.
Oh, the Florian was there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got presented with a ceremonial can of Florian. Because I'd always say, "Oh, my fingers!"
Yeah. It starts with FL and it ends with Achelance.
Afterwards. But I would never, ever do it.
Oh no!
Not ever. Not on purpose.
Listen, look, as my dad would say.
Not on purpose. But I said, I promise.
I was right beside this guy the whole series, and I would know. And I'm just telling you, he's a big fat liar.
Oh, my finger is. Come on. Wait. What does it mean?
No,
It was that old red diet. Darn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because they always misbehave. They were so unprofessional. And I said, if you guys don't stop, I'm gonna.
Thanks, Dad.
And that's what I mean. You know, when you become your character. Stop it now. Don't make me come over there. I'll pull this car over in a second.
We got very good. It's like, if you can imagine a bunch of grown men, but they're preschoolers. Like that, and it got to the point where poor voice director Susan Blue was, you know, we would record a scene, and then, you know, her mic goes off, and you can see that she's talking to the producer, discussing what's going on. And we got adept at using those 30-second breaks for just mayhem. Absolute mayhem. Crazy. Throwing papers, insulting each other. Oh my God. and then as soon as we would hear the click, yes, ma'am?
You'd hear the line.
Yeah.
Line 28, take 21. You know, or no, line 28, take 1. Like take 2 or something like that. It'd be crazy mayhem, and all of a sudden you'd hear that click, like you said, and we're in it. Yet because you know why? We were seasoned professionals. But we did things like Scotty would fall asleep on the floor. I remember that. Remember when he was over there?
Yeah,
with Alec
you know, long stretch of scene that you're not in. So.
Yeah, they'd fall asleep, we'd throw paper all over them. We'd have paper wars and flying kites, you know, flying paper airplanes.
Gonna put someone's eye out with that.
Oh, such great days, I think. Yeah, they were marvelous.
Well, and it's not just melancholy missing them. Like, we don't really record stuff as an ensemble very much anymore.
No.
It's very, you know, 1 or 2 actors. So those days are just gone. I mean, the pandemic played a huge role in that. But it's just kind of,
Well, I'll tell you what, I just recorded a series last year called Monster Loving Maniac, which currently is in Europe. And because of the pandemic, because, you know, again, it was only one voice. So I had no idea. I didn't even know who the rest of the cast was. And I know there were some people in there, but I just had no idea. So I was the lead guy in the show, so I go in every week, and I record 4 episodes. And it would record, like, you know, it would take us maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to record them. But you had to do them 3 different ways to see how the other person is going to respond, or how you're going to respond to them. So you had to picture in your mind, they're going to say it this way, so I'll say it this way. But a lot of times, that didn't work out. So you'd have to do it, the line 3 different ways in order to capture that. it was quite an experience. I really prefer the organic, ensemble.
Yeah, kind of like a radio play.
There's so much going on between the lines that you don't get when you're working as a single in the booth. And the only advantage of it is you can do 4 shows in a way now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it.
I kind of like it too. So there you go.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Any questions? Hey there.
Alright, so, hello. My question is for Garry Chalk.
Yeah.
So, what did you change, what was the transition like going from Beast Wars and Beast Machines as Optimus Primal over to like Armada, Energon, Cybertron as Optimus Prime? What was the transition like, and like were there any significant changes in the way that you played the characters, or?
Monkey. Monkey was warm, mammalian, had feelings and emotions and whatnot. Truck was, let's get 'em, kids. Autobots, come by! All that kind of thing. So it became the truck instead of the monkey. I tried to be the monkey, but they said no. You were going to be the truck, and you're going to sound like this. And I said, okay, because that's what I get paid for.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
Great question.
Have a good day.
You bet, you too.
Hi. I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for Cheetor's voice and Primal's voice, and how did you find the inspiration to change it as the seasons went on through the various forms and impacts you both went through?
Well, I can answer that. I woke up and I thought, I'm going to sound like me. And I was inspired by that. No, like Gary said earlier, heroes are just such a bore. And Cheetor, he's heroic. And so when I went in, I'm ready for all the character parts, the rat traps and the Dinobots and all that stuff. No, we like your hero roles. I mean, I'm not disappointed. I'm glad I got the role. But there's not much inspiration when you're just going for that straight ahead, young, impetuous dude. Like, I didn't think of anyone other than, let's just be a little more of what I don't naturally have, which is heroic.
Oh, you're a hero in my eyes.
Oh, thank you, Gary. Oh, he's so sweet. You're good. So that's fine.
How many here are familiar with Leaving the Beaver? Well, basically, I was Ward Cleaver. You know something, Cheetor? There are times in our lives when we have to make hard decisions. And I know that this is a hard decision for you. I know that you're going to make some hard.
I mean, you went through cybernetic puberty.
That's true. There were many jokes.
Cybernetic puberty, oh my God.
Yeah, facial hair.
That's what my inspiration was that. I thought about every dad, archetypal dad figure, Fred McMurray, Ward Cleaver, and all the rest of them. And I just thought I'd add a bit of this, add a bit of hero, add a bit of,
What about
this
Superman?
side. And made him warm but stern and but fair and and tough. You add all those things together, what do you get? Ward Cleaver.
Garry Chalk. That's what I get.
Yeah, me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, as a funny aside, in your Cheetor book, are still the commercials.
Really?
Yeah.
They're so popular.
Cheetor sells out way more than the Prime.
Really? Oh, that's up today.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
You can write about it now.
Thank you.
Good one.
Hello.
Hi there.
a two-part question related. A few years ago, Kirby Morrow passed away.
Yes.
I wanted to know any stories regarding him. And the second part is kind of directed to Ian, that Kirby took over some of your roles when you did anime, like you did Goku and Dr. Goku from Ranma 1/2.
Yeah.
And then during the production of the Yashahime, the Inuyasha sequel, you took over Kirby Morrow's role of Miroku. Like, how did that occur?
That was a rule where, now, taking back my story I said earlier, that was one that I did kind of get approached with. And obviously I knew Kirby had passed away. Don't do drugs, kids. That's the message here. And they knew the history. I mean, I've known Kirby. I might have given him, if it was not his first voice role, it was amongst the first thing he ever did, for Yvonne of the Yukon. Yeah, I'm in Canada. You know Yvonne of the Yukon. I say this in the States when I go out. So, yeah, so he was the main Tommy character, Yvonne. So we go way back, and you were correct. I was the very first Goku, and then Kirby was one of the replacements. I just said, no. And then it all kind of came full circle. And when I heard about the Miroku role, I said, of course I'll do it. I wasn't really into doing anime at that point, a couple of years ago. But I viewed it as kind of a favor / tribute to Kirby, because we have overlapped for decades. So it was kind of an honor to do it. Kirby story?
Oh, yeah, well, Kirby and I have worked together quite a bit in film. And some stuff in animation, but the one story I have is I remember, I think I met him at the airport about a month before he passed away. And we were talking, he had just come from a convention, and I as well. And I gave him a ride home, and that was the last time I saw him, was giving him a ride home in my car. And I always found Kirby to be quite a seasoned professional, a great guy. I didn't realize, all the things that were going on in his life, and it was a tough one for me, because I really liked him, because I used to go back way when he was a kid. And these things happen.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hi. First of all, thank you both for your work on Transformers and on many other franchises. I have a question for Garry and a question for Ian. So for Garry, had you been cast as Megatron in Beast Wars, what approach would you have taken to voicing him, and would that approach maybe have changed if you were to voice him sometime in the future? And for Ian, were there any other roles you auditioned for on Beast Wars besides Cheetor, or was Cheetor your first choice?
Well, I think for me, for Megatron, I probably would have, well, what voice did I audition with? Well, basically it was, how would it sound? I don't have any dialogue in front of me. It says, "We must get rid of these maximals once and for all. I am sick and tired of dealing with them. Blackarachnia, go and use your wily, womanly wave on them."
Very good.
If I was to say that Cheetor was the role that was my first target, that would be lying. I auditioned for everything. I can't even remember how many. Like, generally, when you're versatile, they give you a little more rope, and they go, yeah, okay, you can do 4, and I would push it to 6. So I read for everything, and honestly, you're just thrilled to get whatever you get. I mean, it's like, hey, Oh, defective, great. Not that I'm confident in that, but defective. And since Cheetor is the most popular toy,
Exactly.
I'm quite confident. So I'm happy with how it all ended up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. I have a question for both of you. So, you've both done obvious native scripts like Beast Wars, Beast Machines, and anime dubs like the Unicron trilogy and like Dragon Ball. Is there any difference working on a native script versus a dub from the actor perspective? And also just an addendum for Gary, is there any complications with, say, a particularly rushed dub script like Armada?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the major difference, the fundamental difference between prelay and dubbing is, in prelay you have the ability to create your own voice, your own situation, and you have an opportunity to make that voice more organic. In dubbing, you're confined to this. And especially if you have mouth flaps, then you're confined to how fast or how slow you say these words, and you've got to make them out. Like, the classic Japanese. So, you like strawberry jam? Well, I like raspberry jam. But wouldn't have strawberry jam if there were no raspberry jam, because the voice, the mouth is going, you're doing all that. So, you're sort of constrained. And it comes out, technically it's okay, but as far as organic emotional performance, it's not the same.
Yeah, they're different worlds. The dubbing acting is much more technical. It's still acting, but as Garry said, the prelay, where you're recording it before it gets animated, you have pre-trained with your pacing, your rhythm, the flow of what you want the line to sound like.
I got to tell you, just as an aside, I watch a lot of movies on Netflix, and I like Korean movies for some unknown reason, but I love them. And I love some of the other ones, the Polish and German ones. And I have a lot of respect for the people who dub those things, because when you hear a bad dub, when you hear a bad English translation, it ruins the whole movie. And I would rather watch the original with subtitles.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll get one that has absolutely excellent matches, excellent match for the voice, excellent match for the acting content of the movie. And I just wanted to say that, even in prelay, acting is the most important thing you can have in your what do you quiver. So there you go.
I quiver when I see you, Garry. Not again.
Oh, please. Okay, we gotta wrap it up pretty quick, guys, so,
Yeah. Hi.
Since we don't have much time, I just want to say thank you for being here and thank you for voicing such wonderful characters.
Oh, thank you, it's my pleasure.
Appreciate that.
Our pleasure. We love it.
Hi there.
I have a question for Mr. Chalk.
Yeah?
What does the prime part in That's Just Prime mean?
Pardon me?
What does the prime part in That's Just Prime mean?
Number one. Come on, number one. It can't be anything else. Prime. The prime number. Well, prime usually premier, it's the first. That's what I think it means, is that,
The number one flatulator.
yeah, and the number one flatulating world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is all the time we have for this one.
Oh, one last question.
We got a costume contest to set up for.
Yeah.
Oh,
of course. It's one
Well, I wish we could have answered all your questions, but there was a lot of questions today, and I'd say thank you so very much for being so engaged. And being part of it.
Thank you for being here with us.
And if you have further questions from you,